Hi everyone, welcome back. It is the end of February, which means one thing, means lots of things. One, March is coming, which means autumn's coming. It also means my birthday's coming. It also means that we do a February favourites. So I've got a little container here with things that I have been loving this month, and I thought I would go through and share them with you. So we have some skincare, we have some body-ish care, we have some makeup as usual, and then just a random item. Okay, so let's start off with skincare. Now there are two items here that are both of the same brand and also color coordinated, but that's just by accident. The first thing that we'll talk about, I think you might have seen if you follow me on Instagram, and if not, here's how to find me. I've been trying out the dark spot toner from Ole Henriksen, and I've been using it for a couple of weeks, but nothing's missing. Anyway, so I don't know if you can see that. There's really very little missing from the bottle. So you just pop this on a cotton round once you have cleansed your face, and then you hopefully see a whole bunch of difference in your skin in terms of pigmentation. Now, I haven't seen massive differences. I have seen a little bit of kind of fading of the summer freckles that happened over December and January, but not massive results. But the reason why I love this so much is because it makes my skin feel amazing. So it's more the feeling and I guess the texture rather than any visible kind of spot treatment. But I'm hoping that with more use, with further use, that I will see more. But I really have been every morning, there's been a couple of days where I've forgotten to use it, or a couple of nights I should say, and the next morning my skin doesn't feel as fresh as it does when I do use it. So that's something to look into. I've used this quite a few times in the past. I've used up an entire jar, I think, and I've had a jar of this sitting in my stash of stuff to use for quite a long time. I'd say maybe even a year. So I opened this up end of January, and it's such a beautiful moisturizer. So this is the Ole Henriksen Sheer Transformation Perfecting Moisturizer. It smells nice, it feels nice, it has this really beautiful light texture, like a whipped texture almost, and it absorbs really quickly, and yeah, like I said, it's so sheer is such a good name for it because it doesn't feel heavy or anything like that. I think going into winter, I'll probably need something a little bit heavier or use it with a oil or something like that, but it's just a gorgeous moisturizer. Another item, which this I purchased some time ago as well, and I used it and loved it then, and then I just kind of forgot about it. And I've recently been using it again, and I might need to repurchase this because it will go out of date soonish, in a couple of months. This is the Sleepy Body Lotion from Lush, and it's this purple lotion for your body. It's very rich and hydrating, but why I like it is because it's quite rich in lavender oil, and it's supposed to make you sleep a lot better, and I feel like it does. I don't know if it's a placebo or whatever, but I tend to put it on my chest, and then I'll also rub it into my temples, and you use such a little of it, so a pot lasts for a really long time. It's a really nice product, and if you have trouble sleeping or staying asleep, then this might be something you might like to try. Grab a sample. Lush are really good at giving samples out. The next item is an item that came in my Beautylish box, and this is the Good Molecules Wake Up Eye Serum, and anyone who got a Beautylish box this year either got this or another serum. And this Good Molecules brand is a affordable brand that's being launched by Beautylish, and it's this really strange texture. It's almost like it's not an oil, it's almost like a jelly, it's a gel kind of formula, and it feels so good under the skin. A lot of it comes out, so you need to be careful not to use too much of it, but it's this thick kind of honey-like gel. I really like, a little bit goes a really long way, so I end up just dragging it kind of all over the bottom of my eye. I think this is going to be priced, I don't know, if I was going to guess, I'd say about $15. I don't think it's up yet, but it's a really nice feeling product. As far as does it make any difference? In the morning, my under eye still feel hydrated from putting it on the night before, so I'd say yes. Does it reduce my bags? No. But next is from Nest. I purchased this when I was in Hawaii, and this is Wisteria Blue, and I actually haven't put anything on today yet, so I'm going to use this today. Love rollerballs, love how convenient, and they're really sturdy. I was always worried about this breaking in my bag, but They're really, really sturdy. It's just a beautiful fragrance. I'm going between this one and the Floral Street that I liked at the end of last year. But I find my husband, the Floral Street is beautiful. I love it. I even went to the doctor's surgery the other day and the nurse or the receptionist was like, oh my gosh, your perfume has filled up the whole room, which is great. But if you have a really sensitive nose like my husband, he will often put the windows down when we're driving because he says it's too strong for him. So this one's a nice alternative. Really great size. Love it. Just love it. Onto some makeup. Now I've only been using this for maybe a week and a half, but this has really impressed me. This is from Tarte. This was given to me at the Sephora showcase, the press day. So this is the Shape Tape setting powder, and it's one of those powders that has the little trampoline in there. It actually has a puff, but I don't use the puff. I'll stick like a beauty blender or a brush into the little net there. So yeah, it's a really nice powder. It's quite mattifying. It does a really great job. I do use Shape Tape concealer. It does a great job to actually set that down, even though it doesn't need setting, but it gives a little bit more coverage as well. So it's not, I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's translucent as such, because it's quite like, I don't know if I'd say it's translucent, because it does have quite a bit of, it does give a little bit of coverage, but it's definitely a powder that I will be going on and using. I'm going to see how it goes for me in winter, because it might be a little heavy, but for now that I've been using it like a week and a half, I've really been impressed. It doesn't break up during the day. It really just is quite nice. Now I realise why I should use the puff, or keep the puff in there, because now there's powder everywhere. Good work, Rosa. Okay, so yeah, this one, I don't think this is released yet in Australia, but keep your eyes out in Sephora. This is just, I really recommend. Another new product is from Nude Sticks. I also picked this up the other day, and I genuinely forget how much I love cream products, and I just tend to go for the powders because they're on hand. My creams are as well, but it just feels so much quicker just to use a powder in the morning when you're in a rush. But this is one of their Nudies matte kind of blush sticks, and it's in the shade Sunkissed, which is just a really pretty kind of dusty kind of rosy shade, and I find that this can work sort of like almost like a bronzer and a blush in one, because it has that little bit of brown in it, which which makes it kind of good for both. It also does come with a brush on the end. I typically don't use that. I like to just use my fingers to blend it all in, but I could see that if you're on the go, that would be quite handy. There's a whole bunch of new shades of these things, so keep an eye out in Sephora again for this, because they're really great quality, and I really love the whole sort of ethos behind the brand. You'll see if you look at the blog that I've mentioned Nude Sticks so many times. Next is an item that has been in my collection for a long time, but I've just rediscovered it this month. I'm wearing it on my lips today, and I'm just using the Pillow Talk lip pencil from Charlotte Tilbury. It's officially called the Lip Cheat Reshape and Resize Lip Liner. It's just such a good shade for me. It's very flattering. It's kind of on the cool tone, on the cool side tone, and it just goes with everything that I ever sort of wear. So I really, really like this lip pencil. I use it just like I said, I outline and then I colour it in, and that's all I do. I don't bother with lipstick or anything like that. Just a really pretty lip pencil. Highly recommend. If you can't afford these, if they're a little bit too much, they're too pricey for you, the other pencil that I really, really like are the lippy pencils, or lippy pencils from Colourpop. They're great too. But yeah, if you can afford to splurge, like I have used it quite a bit, it's getting down there. It's just a really nice pencil. And then my last item is something that I've owned probably for about 20 years, but I just kind of rediscovered it. I think, actually, no, I'd say maybe it's closer to 15 years. Anyway, whatever. It's this rose quartz heart. And it was at my mum and dad's place until a few weeks ago when I went upstairs and I grabbed it from there. And it holds no real purpose, but I find that I always gravitate towards it, and I like to hold it, and I don't know if it does anything or if I feel anything other than a little bit of comfort. So it might even just be like a sensory thing where I really like how smooth it is. There was actually one night that I was in bed and I was just sort of playing with it, and I fell asleep and I woke up in the morning and I was still holding it in my palm. So yeah, it doesn't do anything other than just make me happy. It sparks joy. Are we still sticking with that? Okay. Anyway, so they are all of my favorites for this month. Actually, I'll go through and let you know what I purchased and what I didn't, because I always think that's important. So purchased, actually I think this was gifted, I don't know if I bought it or if someone gave it to me as a gift, but years ago. I purchased the lip pencil. These were gifted at the Sephora event. This was sent to me recently, about a month ago. This I've had, I think it was sent to me, but a long time ago. This was purchased in my Beautylish box, and I purchased the Sleepy, and I purchased the perfume. I'm having trouble today. Anyway, alright, so that's it. They're all my favourites. If you have published a favourites video or blog post or something like that, then leave it down below or leave a comment down below so I can come and check out your favourites. Other than that, thank you so much for watching as usual, and thank you for coming and spending a little bit of time with me in this little corner of the internet. I'll catch you next time. Bye.